There is a group of people that no one talks about in personal finance. I know, it sounds funny. They're not struggling, but they're not really building wealth either. Don't be confused. It's just that they are stable. You know, everyday people, they have a job, they're earning well, they're saving consistently, they're doing everything right. 5 years later, you look back and your life looks exactly, you guessed it, the same. That's what most people call financial stability. Exactly what it is, stable. Before we move forward, if you're new here, where have you been? My name is Desayo. I'm a Harvard trained ex Wall Street professional helping real people take control of their money. Welcome, and we'd love to have you here. The tricky thing is that maybe this is actually the goal that a lot of people were given. Get a good job, earn well, save without fail. Okay, save without fail. Avoid consumer debt, avoid bad debt, and do all that, and you've made it. Yay, us, mama, we made it. But what if that version of making it was never designed to build wealth? What if that was just supposed to be, as you guessed it, stable? You staying stable. You have a job, you have a life, you go to work, you come home, your kids go to school, you know, put food on the table. That okay, that middle class, they like to call it, but not really wealthy. And that sounds like progress. That sounds like financial progress. But is it really? Because in reality, that is maintenance. Your bills are covered, your lifestyle is supported, nothing is quite breaking. Your back is not against the wall, but nothing is really expanding either. That is the lie. A lot of people are thinking that they're moving forward when they're actually just standing still on the treadmill. But, very comfortably doing so. They're comfortable. They are standing still, but they're sort of, the treadmill, you're in motion. It doesn't feel like you're just standing still, but that's what you're doing. Just standing right there in the same position. Okay, let's make this real. Let's bring this home a little bit. They're two people, same income, same city, similar lifestyle. It might be one and the same. But person A is financially stable. They save consistently. They keep a solid amount of cash in their checking account, maybe a high yield savings account. They invest here and there, do a little bit of thing here and there. They're responsible, disciplined, and that's what they've been told. They're really following the manual. They're following every single percent. Nothing is going wrong. You know, that's a cookie cutter kind of person. Then there's person B, also stable. But what's different is that person B is intentional. Every dollar in their life has a role. Their cash isn't just sitting there idle, it's divided. Some of it protects them, some of it ready to move, ready to ignite if need be. Their investments, they're not random, they're tied to specific outcomes. They know what this is supposed to yield for me, what this is supposed to do for me. Not just the grow my money kind, like, oh, I'm just growing my money, but what this money is supposed to do for me at a certain point in my life. You want to buy a car? This money is supposed to get me that car. I want to be able to pivot. This money is supposed to do that for me. Now, fast forward about 5 years after. Person A, they're okay. Yeah, they're okay. They're still stable. It's okay. They're doing okay. Their lifestyle hasn't changed much. They probably still live in the same home, live in the same neighborhood. The income, gone up with inflation, but also so has their expenses. They feel very responsible. They're paying their, burdens on time, but also slightly stuck because can they really move? If something unexpected happens, they're fine for a while and they can probably even absorb it. But big moves, big changes, that sounds like a stretch. Just like, don't even bother me with that. That's a bit of a reach for me. Person B, their life looks a little different. Not flashy, they're not being flashy here, not reckless, just different. They have options. And you know me, I love options. I hope you do too. When a market opportunity comes in and they're able to want to take advantage of that, they jump on it. When they want to take time in between roles, maybe they have a baby or they just want to pivot or they just want to think, they could do that too. When something, important comes up in their lives, they just weren't forced to stay in a place that wasn't serving them anymore. And then their money, it's not just protecting their life, it's not just keeping them in one sort of box. It's creating flexibility inside of that life. They're building flexibility and options inside of that life. They're not just thinking about surviving or at least surviving some type of disruption, because person A does that too. But they can actually think about using disruptions. They're thinking about changing how they move, how they negotiate, how they tolerate, how they tolerate certain things. The kinds of changes that, you have some level of risk to withstand. And I just want you to pause with that for a little bit and just, can you absorb? Can you take on risk that maybe you probably should be able to, even at your same level of income? We're saying same income, but different outcomes. Not because one person worked harder than the other person. Person A, person B, they're sort of the same. But one person was building with intention. And if you have listened to anything that we've talked about on this channel, we always talk about being intentional. Just making sure that your life is very descriptive. So if you know this channel, we love frameworks. This is where I would need you to upgrade the way that you think about your money, because stable is not the destination, at least not for me. I hope not for you too. It's a phase. It's okay to have your first, I need to be stable here. I'm out of school. I need to be stable. That's your first level. As there are levels to this thing. Your life is covered. Nothing is breaking. You're okay. You're standing on your feet. That's fantastic. Then the next level is strategy. Your money should have a job. It should be structured. Your money should be intentional. And then the third level is scale. Your wealth should actually expand your life. A lot of people get to stability. Finish school with good grades, get a job, you're good. And then unknowingly, they build a life that requires them to stay there, to stay in those shackles. If you don't have this job, then you can't do this, because their systems cannot evolve outside of that, outside of the shackles that they built for themselves. If you don't do this, then you can't do this. If you don't keep this job, if you don't stay at this level, if you don't, make this particular title, then you can't move forward. So they're stuck. And let's be clear, this isn't a discipline problem. Person A is very disciplined. It's a design problem. How are you designing your life? Because most people were taught to just think about money randomly. They were never taught to think about money in layers. They were taught, earn, save, maybe invest, maybe here and there, and, put some things in the market, maybe repeat. But no one actually explains to them how much cash is too much. No one explains to them what your investments are supposed to actually do for you. No one explains to them how to position yourself for opportunities. So you end up doing, as they say, all the right things, but without a system. The system that should actually move your life forward. At the end of it all, you feel, what have I really done with my life? Where am I? You feel lost. You feel stuck. You almost can't plot 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because you've really been just stable. Stability, that maintains your life. But you know what changes it? Strategy, intention. That's what changes your life. Depending on what your personal goals are, how you're thinking about evolving and evolution, growth, not just in age, in numbers, the optionality that you want to build into your life. Naturally, once people realize this, they try to take the next step. They're thinking, oh, okay, so I want my life to give me options. And they want to start like investing more and taking that seriously. They're like, no, I need to step on the gas here. I need to do more, which makes sense naturally. But here's where it could also get even more interesting. Because when you're then investing without a plan, you're getting into an even bigger problem. And it doesn't solve problem one. It could actually be worse. You can be fully invested and be fully screwed. I hate to say it that way, but you can be fully invested and still not be in control. You and your life, the design needs to fit your life. So think about that for a second. It's okay to want to get in the market and say, okay, I hear you, so I'm supposed to now like invest and do everything that I need to do. Great. But are you actually thinking about how to design your investment plan, what your investment portfolio should be? The strategy that a lot of very, very smart people employ. And so in the next video, I'm going to break down why investing, but with a strategy, not without one. Honestly, one of the most common mistakes that high earners and professionals make. So we're going to talk about investing with design, with strategy, okay? And more importantly, we want to think about how investing in the way that you actually should invest, in the way that would actually support your life, not just throwing money in the market because that's what you've been told to do. Okay. You want to move beyond just maintaining your life, beyond just like, this is what I have right now, and this is what I'm going to have in another 5, 10 years. You want to think about what you want to build. Where you are now, you're stable. Just to go over everything we've talked about, you're stable. But what is the next step? Is that strategy for you? What then is the next step after that? Is that scalability? What evolution looks like to you? Evolution, even just biologically, physically, evolution, numerically, financially, your intentions, and how they meet your reality. I know for all best intentions, you may mean well, but are you executing well? Are you designing what you need to? That's what I want to talk about in the next video. And if you love, love, love what you've heard today, I want you to brag about it. By subscribing to this YouTube channel, we take on concepts and we just break them down. No fluff, just real talk, straight talk. I would love to see you join the channel. I would love to see you join the family. We would love to have you. And until the next video, I'll see you in the next one.